The story of Ferrari versus Lamborghini is one of the most legendary rivalries in the history of the automobile world, a tale that goes beyond cars and engines and becomes a saga of pride, passion, performance, and the endless pursuit of perfection. It begins in the heart of Italy, where Enzo Ferrari had already established his brand as the epitome of racing excellence. Ferrari was born from the track, created with the soul of a man who lived and breathed speed, who believed that every car should not just be a machine but a piece of art that carried emotion in every line and roar. Enzo Ferrari dedicated himself to building cars that won races that thrilled the world with victories on tracks like Monza, Le Mans, and Formula One circuits. Ferrari was not just a car company, it was a dream factory where every engine note was music and every red body was a symbol of Italian pride. But while Enzo was living his dream, another man was rising in the world of mechanics and machinery: Ferruccio Lamborghini. Unlike Enzo was not obsessed with racing, he was a businessman, a visionary, and above all a man with an unshakable belief that he could do things differently. Ferruccio made his fortune building tractors after World War II, using leftover military parts to engineer durable machines for farmers, and from there his business empire grew. He was wealthy, ambitious, and like many successful Italians of his time, he was passionate about cars. He owned several Ferraris, but he was dissatisfied with them. He found them too harsh on the road, too focused on racing, and too unreliable for the comfort he desired. Legend says that when he confronted Enzo Ferrari about the shortcomings of his cars, Enzo dismissed him, saying he should stick to making tractors. That insult was the spark that ignited a fire in Ferruccio, and from that day, he decided he would build a car company not only to rival Ferrari but to surpass it in every way. Lamborghini was born out of pride and determination, with a mission to create cars that were not just fast, but also comfortable, luxurious, and refined. While Ferrari pursued racing glory, Lamborghini focused on road cars that delivered both performance and pleasure to the driver. This difference in philosophy became the cornerstone of their rivalry: Ferrari, the racer; Lamborghini, the rebel, and together they created some of the most breathtaking automobiles the world has ever seen. Through the decades, their rivalry grew, shaping the automotive landscape in ways no one could have predicted. Ferrari continued to dominate in Formula One, building road cars that were direct extensions of their racing expertise. Every Ferrari carried with it the bloodline of champions, while Lamborghini became the master of shock and awe, designing cars that turned heads with bold, aggressive styling and monstrous engines that sounded like thunder in the Italian hills. The 1960s gave us the Ferrari 250 GTO, a car that remains one of the most valuable in history, with curves that seemed sculpted by the gods and a racing pedigree that conquered circuits worldwide. While Lamborghini responded with the Miura, the car that invented the concept of the modern supercar with its mid-engine layout, low stance, and breathtaking design. It was a declaration that Lamborghini was not just a challenger but an innovator daring to rewrite the rules. As years passed, both brands pushed each other further. Ferrari introduced masterpieces like the Testarossa and the F40, the first road car to break the 200-mile-per-hour barrier, while Lamborghini countered with the Countach, a wedge-shaped rocket that became the poster car of the 1980s with its scissor doors and futuristic lines. Ferrari gave the world the Enzo in the early 2000s, named after the founder himself, a hypercar that combined Formula One technology with road car usability. Lamborghini matched the spirit with the Murcielago and later the Aventador, cars that roared with naturally aspirated V12 engines, echoing the brand's dedication to raw, unfiltered power. Then came the modern era, where hybrid technology and cutting-edge aerodynamics began to define the new age of performance. Ferrari unveiled the LaFerrari, a hybrid hypercar blending a screaming V12 with electric motors to produce unprecedented power and speed, while Lamborghini introduced the Aventador and later the Revuelto, which carried forward the tradition of naturally aspirated engines. While experimenting with hybrid assistance, these two titans continue to clash with every model. Ferrari perfecting elegance, precision, and racing technology; Lamborghini unleashing extravagance, drama, and brutal force. Yet their rivalry is not just about cars, it is about identity. Ferrari owners often see themselves as connoisseurs of motorsport heritage, buying into a brand that represents racing excellence and sophistication. Lamborghini owners embrace flamboyance, theater, and presence, driving machines that are designed to be seen and heard as much as they are to be driven. This contrast has given rise to endless debates among enthusiasts about which brand truly represents the pinnacle of performance. Ferrari may have the edge in motorsport dominance with countless Formula One championships, while Lamborghini has captured imaginations with cars that look like spaceships roaring through city streets. In the end, both brands symbolize the best of Italian creativity, passion, and engineering. When you compare specific models, the debate becomes even more thrilling. Take the LaFerrari versus the Aventador. The LaFerrari offers hybrid technology, Formula One influence, and an experience that feels like piloting a race car on the road, while the Aventador provides a visceral, primal experience with its naturally aspirated V12, a car that feels alive and untamed. Then there is the Ferrari SF90 Stradale versus the Lamborghini Revuelto, the SF90 a plug-in hybrid delivering blistering acceleration with cutting-edge tech, while the Revuelto carries Lamborghini's DNA into the hybrid age. Still, Holding on to the roar of a V12 while adding electric motors for instant torque, Ferrari chases the perfect lap, Lamborghini chases the perfect thrill, and together they define the boundaries of what a supercar can be. Ferrari's design philosophy is often about elegance, aerodynamic purity, and function, every line serving a purpose to cut through air and maximize speed. Lamborghini's design philosophy is unapologetically aggressive, sharp edges, dramatic cuts, and scissor doors meant to shock and awe. Ferrari wants you to glide. Lamborghini wants you to explode. Both succeed in ways that stir the soul. Step inside a Ferrari and you find a cockpit that feels like a race car driver, focused, minimalist, yet luxurious, with everything pointed toward control. Step inside a Lamborghini and you feel like you have entered a fighter jet, with switches, levers, and displays that make you feel like a pilot ready for takeoff. Their sounds too tell the story. Ferrari's engines sing a high-pitched symphony that builds with precision. Lamborghini's engines bellow a deep, guttural roar that shakes the ground. Both are intoxicating in their own way, and fans will argue endlessly about which is better. The rivalry also lives on the track. Even though Lamborghini does not compete in Formula One, it has made its mark in GT racing and endurance events. Ferrari continues to dominate in Formula One, the most prestigious racing stage in the world, with a legacy of legendary drivers like Michael Schumacher and Niki Lauda carrying the prancing horse to glory. This racing DNA bleeds into Ferrari road cars, giving them a level of precision and feedback that is unmatched. Lamborghini, meanwhile, pours its energy into creating road cars that feel like an event every time you drive them, ensuring that whether or not they win on the track, they always win on the streets. Beyond performance, there is also exclusivity and price. Ferrari carefully manages its production numbers, keeping demand higher than supply, ensuring that every car is a coveted treasure. Lamborghini too limits its production, but often offers more dramatic one-off models like the Veneno and the Centenario, which push the boundaries of design and price. Ferrari appeals to those who want heritage, prestige, and a connection to racing. Lamborghini appeals to those who want to stand out, to make a statement, and to live boldly. Both brands have evolved with the times, embracing technology, but never losing their essence. Ferrari has moved toward hybridization and advanced aerodynamics. Lamborghini has ventured into hybrid V12s and extreme design experiments, yet neither brand compromises on passion, which is why after decades the rivalry remains as alive as ever. Ferrari versus Lamborghini is not just about choosing a car, it is about choosing a philosophy. Do you want the precision of a scalpel or the drama of a sword? Do you want to feel like a racing driver chasing milliseconds, or a showman commanding attention? Wherever you go, the truth is the world is better because both exist. For without Ferrari there might not have been a Lamborghini, and without Lamborghini Ferrari would not have pushed itself as hard as it has. Their competition is a gift to car enthusiasts, giving us generations of masterpieces that blend engineering, art, and emotion. As we look to the future with electric power on the horizon, questions arise: will Ferrari and Lamborghini retain their magic in a world without roaring engines? Ferrari is already working on an all-electric model, promising to carry forward its DNA. Lamborghini too has announced its move toward electrification, but insists it will not abandon the soul that makes its cars special. Whatever happens, the rivalry will continue. Even if the battlefield shifts from the roar of V12s to the hum of electric motors, Ferrari will still chase perfection, Lamborghini will still chase excitement, and car lovers will still argue, dream, and celebrate these two titans of Italy. This story that began with an insult between two proud men has become the greatest rivalry in automotive history, and it will continue to shape the future of cars for generations to come.